Mr. Chairman.
Todd McLeod.
The question be now put.
Dr. Rajan Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's just a few final points I want to make on this part of the bill. There is one element of this part two that does please me, and I think it's a good set of provisions. In my observation of the years that I've been involved in the social provision, it's easy to see how child support, or the lack of payment of child support, has received bad press and a bad name. And that has happened quite consistently over the years, where people have quoted the amount that's owing to the state. And many people outside don't realize that much of that is by way of penalties. Not the base amount, but penalties. And they grow very, very quickly. And this has given child support a bad name. And this bill does address that quite well. It has a much more appropriate penalty regime. It's graded. And there is an incentive, if you like, for people not to let it get out of hand. And I wanted to commend the designers of this bill for those particular provisions. But I think it's a quite good set of provisions, quite well graded, and lots of checks and balances built into there. So that's a good provision in this part, and I think it will have an effect on the press, if you like, about child support. I think that's a positive aspect of it. The other aspect that I want to talk briefly about, Mr. Chairman, was the automatic deductions regime. I know others have spoken about this. And note some of the comments. Melissa Lee was also, in her comments, singing the praises of this particular provision. And it's a complete switch around. You know, instead of being an opt-in provision, it's now an opt-out one. So it's really up to people to say, I want to opt out of this particular provision. Now, and I know there are some additional provisions that we worked on the Select Committee to say that for particular reasons, and cultural reasons have been mentioned, but it's not just cultural reasons. A whole bunch of reasons as to why you would not want your employer to have that information. So that provision is there, but that still is an opt-out provision. People have got to do something about it themselves, not the other way around. Now, we are worried about that, and I think we'll have to watch this, because there is, and as the last speaker said, there is no history in the government benches to respect privacy of information in recent times. And so the burden then is on members opposite to actually ensure that provisions are built in such a way that that kind of abuse that has taken place does not occur. And I think that's quite an important provision in this particular bill that we will be watching, and we're not certain that this is the best way to go. The next point I wanted to make actually links into that point, which is in order to ensure that this system, which is now quite a complex system that is being designed, there is a real possibility of actually the Inland Revenue Service actually delivering to it. And we think the jury's out. It's already being pushed out another year. The computer programs, as others have talked about, is now really struggling under the current demands. And yet we have this new set of provisions which will demand much more of that system going forward. Now, this should not be introduced unless that is guaranteed. That the $1.5 billion, if that's the figure, to be spent on a computer system will actually deliver to this. Because there are many more computer systems that the state has invested multi-million dollars in that have failed than that have been successful. So this is a major one. So here there is a risk for these provisions that have been added into the current system. So we just wanted to signal that we have major concerns about that. We think the system that's designed here is now quite complex. The formula is complex, the system is complex, there's the reviews being built in as well. In order for all of that to operate well, that computer system has got to be bedded in, not like some others that all of us could talk about, which are just producing all kinds of perverse effects. And unless that is done, then the risk will be realized. And that also then addresses the question or the risk or the problem really of the huge expenditure.
I call the honourable member Alfred Naira. Kia ora.
Kia ora. I move that the question be now put.
The question is that the question be now put. As many of that opinion will please say aye. The contrary, no. The ayes have it. A party vote has been called for. Will the clerk please conduct a party vote for Mr Hipkins?
No, for democracy.
For democracy, okay. Let's carry it out for democracy.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 opposed.
New Zealand First.
It's opposed.
Maori Party.
2 in favour.
Mana.
1 opposed.
Act New Zealand. United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan. Any other votes?
Thank you. Honourable members, the ayes are 63, the noes are 56. The motion is agreed to. Just before we do that, though, we have the Minister's amendments, which are set out on supplementary order paper number 181. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. A party vote's been called for. Please conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 opposed.
New Zealand First.
7 votes opposed.
Maori Party.
2 opposed.
Mana.
1 opposed.
Act New Zealand.
1 in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan. Any other votes?
Honourable members, the ayes are 61 and the noes are 58. The motion is agreed to. We now move to part 2 as amended. Stand part. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. The contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote has been called for. The clerk will please conduct the party vote. Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 opposed.
New Zealand First.
7 votes opposed.
Maori Party.
2 opposed.
Mana.
1 opposed.
Act New Zealand.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan. Any other votes?
Shall I ask him? Can I ask the honourable member Brendan Horan, does he wish to vote? We've just called him to vote.
Yes.
The
One vote opposed.
1 vote opposed. Order. Can I just remind members that during the course of a vote it's supposed to be in silence. In fact, any conversations across the House can be seen as intimidation and it could well lead to a breach of privilege. I call the honourable member Brendan Horan, but just to explain to him that what the vote was on was that part 2 as amended stand part.
Yes, thank you, sir. I was watching on television and was rushing here to get here, so I was aware, despite the squawking of those members over that side.
Order. And I could just tell the member that when that happens, effectively a point of order, he is terse and to the point. Thank you. The question now, here we are. The answer is, here we go, the ayes are 61 and the noes are 59. The part 2 as amended will stand part. The question now is that Schedule 1A stand part, but we've got some amendments for the Minister for that. So the first amendments are set out on SOP number 181, and it's for the Ministers for Schedule 1A. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, no. Party vote has been called for. The clerk will please, the clerk will please conduct a party vote. I've done that. Part 2 is meant to stand part. That's been passed. We're now moving to Schedule 1A. And we've talked about the Minister's amendment.
Mr Chairman, on a voice vote, you have to declare what you determine the outcome to be before a party vote can be called for.
Sorry, the ayes have it.
The noes have it. Party vote called
Party vote called for.
Right.
Well, it's Wednesday night. Away we go.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.